What's good, YouTube world? Killua Morales is back at it again with 2 top 10 lists this time instead of 1. Now, since this is the month of love, it's only natural that I do something romance related. But this is also Black History Month, so I have to do something dedicated to this fact as well. So my first list will be a quickie. This will be my top 10 anime waifus. These are the characters that not only stole the show, but also, and most importantly, they stole my heart with their character growth, personality, and of course, their looks. Now with that aside, let's make this quick. Number 10, Raphtalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero. Going from an adorable little child afraid to fight to a beautiful woman that can kick your ass even when she's drunk, she's a character that never fails to entertain, from her loyalty and love for Naofumi to her fighting prowess with a sword. That's a raccoon girl you don't want to piss off. Number 9, Tio Claris from Arifueta. Between her and Darkness from Konosuba, Tio is much more likable, and she's a brick house on top of that. She's also a beast in battle, literally and figuratively, as she can turn into a dragon, but in human form, she can make you laugh and root for her. Number 8, Amane Suo from The Fruit of Grisaya, another voluptuous character. But under all that beauty, she's a tragic character whose backstory plays a huge role in the main story. And to tell you the truth, she's the best fit for Yuji, as not only is she beautiful, but she's a jack of all trades. She can cook, drive a car and plane, and she's loyal to the core. Number 7, Belle Dandy from Ah My Goddess. This goddess is just so pure-hearted. Under that beautiful exterior, there's inner beauty and a little bit of naivety. She doesn't hold grudges, she's faithful and understanding, and she has a sense of comfort that puts one's mind at ease. Even though she's a goddess, she's a maiden through and through. Number 6, Hinata Hyuga from Naruto. The prime example of a yandere done right. She's a girl that had an unrequited love for the titular character during that adolescent years, but she later gained confidence in herself due to Naruto's support. Then the time skip happened, and oh my lord does she look beautiful. Under that beauty, her love and devotion to Naruto grew even more, leading to them finally being a couple and starting a family. Number 5, Yor Briar from Spy Family. I've spoken enough about her in my review and my top 10 anime of 2022, so let's just sum it all up. Under that beautiful face and body and memeable dance, there's a dangerous assassin that's stronger than she looks and can kill you in 200 different ways. Number 4, Rei Ayanami from Neon Genesis Evangelion. The prime example of my favorite character archetype, the Kudere. From the very beginning, she's seen as an emotionless girl that blindly follows one of the worst fathers in anime and manga. You later see that there's more to her than meets the eye, to put it lightly. Also, how can you not fall in love with that smile? Number 3, Boa Hancock from One Piece. Out of all the female villains in anime that left an impression on me, Boa left the biggest impression. What started off as one of the 7 warlords, she later becomes an ally after seeing how noble Luffy is. But even when she's not doing that, she's someone you do not want to piss off unless you want to be turned into stone. Number 2, Yoruichi from Bleach. Arguably the strongest female character in the franchise, this flash goddess stole my heart just from when she introduced herself. But when she showed how powerful she truly is, man, I wanted to see more of her. And boy, she did not disappoint in the least bit. And number 1, Kazehana from Sekirei. Now if you ask me, she's the hottest character in any anime. She literally has it all. A beautiful face, an hourglass body, a lovable personality, strong character development, and she's one of the strongest characters in Sekirei overall. She's that type of lady you can't help but buy her a drink. Especially since she's known for drinking day and night. Now that we put that aside, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Now, as I stated before, February marks Black History Month, and because of that, I've decided to dedicate a list to some of the most underrated characters in anime. Not only will I be looking at main characters, but also side characters as well. These chosen few have left a huge impression on not only the story of their respective series, but also the fans as well. And of course, that includes me, so it's only fair to talk about them. Now, just a quick heads up, I'm looking at all black characters, not just black characters whose nationality is America. But most importantly, since I'm talking about some important characters, be wary of spoilers. So, sit back and relax as I give you what I think are the top 10 best black characters in anime. Let's hop into it. Number 10. Canary from Hunter x Hunter. Of course, we gotta start things off with one of my favorite anime of all time. Now this Togashi greatness has a few minority characters, and this young apprentice butler of one of the most dysfunctional families in anime and manga is one of the standouts. What started off as a young adolescent that was supposedly loyal to the Zoldyck family, Canary comes off as cold and dedicated to her job, showing that she won't allow anyone to enter family grounds. In reality though, she's not as cold as she's shown. The truth of the matter is that she's specifically loyal to Killua and not the family. Not only has she shown her loyalty towards Killua, she's shown to be a beast in battle as well. To be honest, she could have made it higher on the list if she had more screen time, but as it stands, she's still a strong character with the little time that she did have. Plus, you gotta love that hairstyle of hers. Number 9. Coffee from Cowboy Bebop. Now this brick house of a lady clearly hasn't lost touch with the 60s and 70s, but she sadly only had one episode dedicated to her. Thankfully, that one episode led to her leaving a huge impression, especially when dealing with the crazy ass tech whiz that is Ed. In her one and only episode, she's hunting down a guy that Ed and his dog Aim were coincidentally looking for as well. She always gets caught up in awkward situations involving these two, but yet somehow she maintains her serious nature when doing her job. Wielding a grenade launcher with no issues and looking fabulous while doing so is tough to do, but Coffee pulls this off effortlessly. Shinichiro Watanabe was clearly showing that he can take inspiration from anything and make it into a masterpiece, because fun fact, she's actually based off a blaxploitation film called Coffee, with a Y. Overall, she's one character if any should have gotten a spin-off series. And if something like this happens, let's just hope it doesn't turn into trash like that stupid ass live action series on Netflix. Number 8. Fire Emblem from Tiger and Bunny. Now let's show some respect towards the LGBTQ+ community with this compelling and entertaining character. Fire Emblem, no relation to the Nintendo series of the same name, is one of the best characters in the series. Bullied by their classmates, disowned by their parents, this person has suffered in more ways than one can count. Yet somehow, they stayed true to themselves, showing their love for jewelry, makeup, and dresses. They're the type of character that you can see in ballroom culture. For those who don't know about ballroom culture, I recommend watching the Emmy Award-winning FX series Pose, or better yet, watch the documentary Paris is Burning to get a better understanding. Fire Emblem can be described by this quote alone.
They say a man is made of courage and a woman is made of love. So what does that mean for people who are gay? We are invincible! Message!
Overall, they're the most mature person, and their friends never discriminated against them, showing that they always have someone to support them when they feel down. Number 7. Dutch from Black Lagoon. Now obviously the person that steals the show every time is the loudmouth Revy, but we can't just sleep on her comrades, like her line of reasoning Rock or the Jewish tech whiz Benny. Hell, we can't even talk about this anime without bringing up the reincarnation of the Terminator that is Roberta. Just watch CJ Champ's video to see what I mean. Links in the description box below. But right now, we need to talk about the head honcho of the Lagoon Company, Dutch. Now other than Benny and Rock, Dutch is the most level-headed character of the entire series. He's shown to be a pacifist most of the time, not wanting to get his hands dirty unless necessary. A former member of the United States Marine Corps, he knows his way around a battle and refuses to do anything dangerous if it means risking the safety of his crew. Also, you gotta love his banter with his crew, especially with Rock, as their conversations never fail to entertain. Now despite his calm and friendly personality, he doesn't get distracted on the job, showing his dedication as well. He's one of the most well-rounded characters in the anime, and it's always nice to see a black man in charge. Number 6. Muhammad Avdol from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Stardust Crusaders. Now to be honest, I was legit debating on whether or not to talk about him or Smokey Brown from the Battle Tendency arc. In the end, I decided on Avdol because Smokey doesn't do shit in the series except watch Joseph go buck wild. Anyway, Avdol is not only the most responsible of the group, but he's also the most mature. And that's saying a lot given that the oldest person in the group, Joseph, is arguably the most immature. His wisdom is what keeps the group from going essentially into civil war, especially when dealing with Jotaro's rash nature, Joseph's overreactions, Paul Narov's hyperactivity, or Kakyoin's on second thought, Let's not talk about Kakyoin. Anyway, we're not talking about the Joestar family or Dio. Abdul is arguably the best character due to not only being the straight man in the group, but also his confidence in his abilities and his sense of not only pride but also humility. He is a mentor through and through. Number 5. Simon Brezhnev from Durarara. Now we have one of the most talked about anime of all time. This Russian immigrant is arguably one of the best characters of the entire franchise. He starts off as a kind-hearted pacifist that looks intimidating at first, but actually has a heart of gold and sells delicious and cheap sushi to customers. His heart of gold is especially shown when he basically lets his restaurant be used as a place to resolve conflict, kind of like the barbershop from the Marvel TV series Luke Cage. Whenever he's not making or delivering sushi, he'll go out of his way to help those around, especially when the main three are involved, as you see him give good advice, like when Masaomi felt conflicted on whether he should give up the gang life he used to live. When you add on the fact that he can fight evenly with Shizuo, especially since he's a former member of the Soviet Special Forces, he is a strong character that you want as a friend. Also, I kinda want to try some of his sushi. Number 4. Darui from Naruto Shippuden. Normally, it would have been easy for me to talk about the shades-rocking, bad-rhyming A-Tails Jinchuriki that is Killer B, or even his big brother, the 4th Raikage. But in all honesty, I believe that Darui left a bigger impact on me due to how underrated he is. A former student of the 3rd Raikage, this guy, when not battling, is a pretty easygoing and mellow person, which gives off the impression that he's lazy like Shikamaru, especially when referring to things as being dull, which is ironic given that his name translates to dull. Even though he comes off as lazy, he's the exact opposite, as he's shown not only to be quick to act, but also loyal, making him a natural-born leader. His strength in battle is especially shown when he defeated the Gold and Silver brothers who were wielding the treasured tools of the Sage of Six Paths. Also, who else do you know is a master of 3 nature transformations? Now, as much as Killer B and the 4th Raikage had more screen time, Darui shows that even he can steal the show, which is why he's the 5th Raikage in Boruto. Bars. Number 3. Afro Samurai from Afro Samurai. Hey, it's only natural that he would be added to this list, especially since he's voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. But to be honest, it was difficult to decide between this, my runner-up, and my number 1, especially since this is the only anime in history to be nominated for an Emmy. 2 to be exact. But let's not talk about his achievements and focus on his protagonist. The titular character is without a doubt the most popular black anime character of all time. Now, even though he's technically a Ronin, he's shown to follow the Bushido code while at the same time being ruthless in battle, and because of this, people have considered him a monster. But despite the fact that he's portrayed as ruthless and emotionless, there are layers to his character. From his backstory alone, he's shown to care for those, especially his childhood friend Gino and his former love Otsuru. He's clearly on a revenge quest, but that doesn't mean that that's what's solely on his mind. Overall, he's someone you can sympathize with and root for. And by the way, if you ever wondered if Samuel L. Jackson likes anime, well...
Anime. Yes, I do. Hentai too.
And there you have it. Number 2. Yoruichi from Bleach. Did you really think that I wouldn't bring her up again? I mean, it was more than just the looks that left an impact on me. The moment she was first introduced, I was like everybody else when the Flash goddess transformed into her human form. I thought Yoruichi was a guy when in cat form, but the moment she transformed, revealing that not only was she a woman, but also black, my mind had a sense of deja vu. That, and she was naked. But enough about that. Yoruichi is shown to be not only one of the fastest characters, but also one of the strongest characters in the entire series. A master of not only hand-to-hand combat, but also demon arts, she's not someone you can take lightly. With strength like that, you would expect her to be maybe a little cocky, but she's actually far from it. Add on the fact that she's a good mentor to not only Soifan, but also Ichigo, she knew how to make an amazing impression, and I look forward to what she does in the later arcs. Also, she's got a bigger appetite than Goku and Luffy combined. Now, before we talk about my number 1, let's talk about some honorable mentions. Biscuit Oliver from Baki. Hey, it's only natural that Mr. Unchained would make it here. Killer B from Naruto Shippuden. Even though he didn't make the list, that doesn't mean he wasn't a blast to watch. Casca from Berserk. This female mercenary was a badass from the beginning. Almost made the list until Well, you all know what happened. Jonah from Jormungand. This little kid hates weapons and rarely smiles, but you can't help but love how compelling he is. Erd from Ah My Goddess. The older sister of the previously mentioned Belle Danny that's literally doing everything to ship her with Keiichi. She's the ultimate wingman. Pun intended. And Brock from Pokemon. This gym leader always knew how to steal the show with not only his cooking skills, but also his love for beautiful women. Number 1. Yasuke from Yasuke. Now, it was difficult to decide between him, Yoruichi, and Afro Samurai as my number 1, but in the end, I chose Yasuke over both of them for one simple reason. He's actually a real person. Fun fact, Yasuke was recruited by one of the greatest leaders of Japanese history, Oda Nobunaga. Oda couldn't pronounce his name, so he gave him the name Yasuke to make it easier for him. As time progressed, Yasuke became one of Nobunaga's strongest and most trusted subordinates until his death in 1582. There wasn't enough information to determine what happened to him after the fall of Nobunaga, and that's where the anime comes in. Now, let's set things straight. The events of the anime are clearly not what happened in history, so don't get any ideas. The point is, Yasuke is shown to be not only loyal but also a badass in battle. Also, just like Dutch, he's shown to be a pacifist, as he won't resort to violence unless necessary. And just like Afro Samurai, he's shown to have compassion for others. And when you add on the fact that in the English dub, he's voiced by Oscar-nominated actor Lakeith Stanfield, this is the character you just can't ignore. Another fun fact, Yasuke was originally going to be voiced by the Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman, but due to, well, you know, Lakeith Stanfield ended up taking up the reins. Overall, whether you like the series or not, Yasuke is a character that will stand the test of time due to his character design and, of course, his inspiration for other characters like the aforementioned Afro Samurai, which is why I say that he is the number 1 best black anime character. Well, that's it for this list. Do you agree with it? What was your favorite black anime character? And who was your favorite anime waifu? Comment below to give me your thoughts. But now that that's done, it's time I tell you what I plan to do in the future for my channel. I won't tell you everything I plan to do, but one thing I can say is that I will do some character analysis videos. Who will I be analyzing? That's something you're gonna have to figure out on your own, but look forward to it. So for now, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, just like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to tap the bell icon so you're never missing out on a future video. But until then, thanks for watching. I'm leaving in Godspeed. Peace!